The idea that NASA is in some kind of quiet battle with an alien comet sounds like the plot of a sci-fi movie. But when 3I Atlas entered the public conversation, that's exactly the kind of narrative that exploded across the internet. Not because NASA made such a claim, but because of how information moves now. Fast, fragmented, emotional, and 3I Atlas became the perfect object for controversy to grow around. It started with timing. 3I Atlas was detected moving through our system on an unusual trajectory. Hyperbolic, unbound, a visitor from another star system. That alone was enough to trigger attention. Because interstellar objects are rare to observe, not because they're rare in space, but because they're hard to notice. They're small, fast, faint, and often only detected once they're already on their way out. But 3I Atlas didn't slip through quietly. Astronomers began tracking it, data started coming in, and a few early observations showed that its behavior didn't perfectly match the clean textbook version of a comet or asteroid. Its brightness fluctuated oddly. Its activity patterns weren't symmetrical. Its surface chemistry seemed complex. Not impossible, just different. In science, different is exciting. On social media, different becomes suspect. And that's where the controversy was born. Some people asked a genuine question. Could this be artificial? A probe? A fragment of alien technology? A biological carrier? The majority of scientists dismissed these as highly unlikely, but they never labeled the object boring. They called it unusual. And that's where the problem began. Because unusual on TikTok and YouTube quickly becomes they're hiding something. The narrative mutated. People began comparing 3I Atlas to Oumuamua, which had already fueled speculation because of its unusual acceleration and shape. A few prominent voices in physics and astronomy had previously explored theoretical possibilities about artificial probes decades before, long before social media sensationalized such ideas. Those old interviews and quotes were dug back up, decontextualized, and applied directly to 3I Atlas. Now it wasn't just a weird interstellar object. It was the thing NASA won't tell you about. Except NASA was telling people about it. NASA, along with international observatories, published open observations, orbital calculations, photometric data, and spectral analysis. But raw data doesn't go viral. Emotion does. And slow, careful explanations don't compete well with dramatic thumbnails and captions. So online, the story shifted. On one side, you had scientists explaining that 3I Atlas is very likely a naturally formed interstellar comet or complex asteroid. The idea that NASA is in some kind of quiet battle with an alien comet sounds like the plot of a sci-fi movie. But when 3I Atlas entered the public conversation, that's exactly the kind of narrative that exploded across the internet. Not because NASA made such a claim, but because of how information moves now. Fast, fragmented, emotional, and 3I Atlas became the perfect object for controversy to grow around. It started with timing. 3I Atlas was detected moving through our system on an unusual trajectory. Hyperbolic, unbound, a visitor from another star system. That alone was enough to trigger attention. Because interstellar objects are rare to observe, not because they're rare in space, but because they're hard to notice. They're small, fast, faint, and often only detected once they're already on their way out. But 3I Atlas didn't slip through quietly. Astronomers began tracking it, data started coming in, and a few early observations showed that its behavior didn't perfectly match the clean textbook version. What a portion of the public hears is, they're careful with their words because they know something dangerous. The gap between those two interpretations is where the controversy lives. Add to that the fact that 3I Atlas had some genuinely strange features. Not alien, not impossible, but complex. Its non-uniform outgassing made it harder to model. Its light curve wasn't clean. Its composition didn't perfectly mirror known nearby comets. Its trajectory couldn't be traced back easily to a specific parent system. Each unknown became a magnet for speculation. And some people weren't just speculating quietly. They accused NASA of downplaying it, of hiding potential threats, of covering up extraterrestrial contact. There was no evidence of any of this. But evidence isn't what fuels internet controversies. Patterns of mistrust do. Long-standing skepticism toward institutions mixed with the natural fear of the unknown created the perfect storm. But here's the reality. NASA doesn't gain anything by pretending an object is boring if it isn't. If 3I Atlas were truly dangerous or artificial, it would be studied more intensely, not less. Missions get funded when things are unusual, not when things are ordinary. Scientists build careers on discovering anomalies, not hiding them. The idea that every astronomer on Earth would keep quiet about something revolutionary is unrealistic. Astronomy is one of the most international scientific fields on the planet. Telescopes from different countries track the same object. Data is shared, peer-reviewed, and publicly released. The more extraordinary something is, the harder it is to keep it inside a closed room. If 3I Atlas were artificial, you wouldn't just hear about it from NASA. You'd see it in independent datasets from Europe, Asia, amateur astronomers, private observatories, and universities around the world. The sky is not owned by one agency, and that's part of what grounds this controversy back into reality. 3I Atlas is being watched by many groups, not just NASA, and none of them have provided evidence of artificial structure or extraterrestrial technology. What they have provided is something both more subtle and more powerful, a glimpse at how diverse the universe really is. Because the real story isn't NASA versus aliens. It's humanity meeting cosmic randomness. 3I Atlas is not following our expectations, not our tidy categories, not our limited experience. And when something doesn't fit our mental boxes, we create narratives around it. Some choose fear, some choose fantasy, some choose curiosity. NASA, for its part, has chosen the slow and boring option. Data, reanalysis, more observations, more models, not because they're hiding anything, but because that's how you avoid fooling yourself. Science is allergic to dramatic conclusions without evidence, but public culture is addicted to them. And that's the deeper controversy around 3I Atlas. Not whether it's alien, not whether NASA is hiding it, but whether people trust process over drama. Because 3I Atlas doesn't need aliens to be fascinating. It's already a messenger from outside our system. A piece of matter shaped by an environment we didn't create, formed under a different star, traveling for unknown lengths of time through interstellar silence. It's naturally extraordinary, but we live in a time where natural wonder isn't always enough. We need it to be sentient, or threatening, or secret, and when it isn't, we invent the battle anyway. NASA versus the alien comet wasn't really a scientific conflict. It was a cultural one, between those who see 3I Atlas as a rare cosmic visitor, and those who see it as a symbol for something bigger. Fear of the unknown, hope for contact, distrust of institutions, or simply the thrill of mystery. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The real mystery might not be what 3I Atlas is. The real mystery is why we're so quick to turn it into a secret war story instead of allowing it to just be what it already is. A strange visitor, a cosmic object, an interstellar traveler, and a reminder that not everything unknown needs to be an enemy.